Bill O'Reilly is upset about a report put out by the college Republicans showing what terrible situation the Republican Party is in. Now, the college Republicans didn't make this poll up. In fact, they're not happy with the poll, but they just wanted to accurately assess what younger voters actually believed, so that if the Republicans have an issue with them, and they do because they get far less of their votes than Democrats do, they figure out why and address that, right? So the report explains that the Republican Party is in, quote, a dismal present situation, and they say the responses were brutal. They called GOP close-minded, racist, rigid, old-fashioned. O'Reilly might have liked the rigid part. Anyway, and then on the issue of Latino voters, he says Latino voters, or the report did, tend to think the GOP couldn't care less about them. Now, that is a pattern that apparently applied to a lot of the voters, including gay voters, younger voters, etc. In fact, they explained, and I think this is the central core problem of the Republican Party as the report accurately assesses. We've become the party that will pat you on your back when you make it, but won't offer you a hand to help you get there. Bingo. So, especially if you're a younger voter and you're trying to get there and you need a little bit of opportunity, well, this is not a party that winds up appealing to you very much. Well, O'Reilly did something interesting. He wound up having the two people who were involved with the college Republicans and this report on his program to talk about it. Now, he didn't like the results of the report because he doesn't like reality in America, and he feels that it's slipping away from old white people such as himself. So he decides he's going to grill these lovely ladies.
What's the headline of your report?
I think the headline is that Republicans are in big trouble with young voters, but there are a lot of opportunities for the GOP to win them back.
Okay, that's a general headline. All right, what I want is a specific reason younger Americans are voting Democrat.
One of the big reasons is there's a sense among young people that Republicans don't have an answer to the problems that are facing them day to day that are affecting their pocketbooks and affecting their lives.
All right, let me stop.
Like student loan debt. Okay.
Let me stop you, because I want to be very precise on your study. How can that be possible when Barack Obama presides over an economy for 4 years that's dismal?
So I already love that he's basically yelling at the voters, because these two women are Republicans. They're not saying that this is what they believe. It's, how can these young voters think that Obama's any good at the economy? Well, Bill, they don't watch your show apparently, right? And they're very right not to. You know the average age of Bill O'Reilly's audience, and one of my favorite facts in the whole world. This came out a couple of years ago. 71 years old. The dude's doing the show at a retirement center, and he can't figure out why he doesn't have his finger on the pulse of young Americans. And meanwhile, he's got two young Americans on the show. He invited them on, and he keeps interrupting them. Nah. And he's like, what's the headline of the report? She's giving the headline. He's like, nah, I want the specifics. But you didn't ask for the specifics. You asked for the headline. Okay, the disrespect for young voters is oozing out of Bill O'Reilly, but it's only going to get worse. So let's watch this part first.
Well, to be quite frank, Bill, if the Republican Party ignores younger voters or continues to do so, we risk losing every national election in the future.
Do you believe that the Republican Party and Mitt Romney ignored younger voters? Do you believe they did that?
I'm not saying that there was an institutional neglect of younger voters, but certainly that's the way younger voters felt, is that they weren't reached by the campaign or by the Republican Party.
Why? Because when I covered the campaign, certainly Barack Obama is younger and hipper than Mitt Romney. No doubt. But as far as substance was concerned, I didn't see a big difference in the two presentations. They both promised to do everything for everybody.
Okay, think about that for a second. Substantively, he didn't say anything different between Obama and Romney for younger voters. Remember, Romney's asked, hey, how can I pay for my education or start a new business, etc. And he tells him, well, why don't you get your dad to do it? Meanwhile, Obama's talking about how he's going to have you pay a lower rate for your student loan so you get an opportunity. That's a gigantic substantive difference, because the thing is, O'Reilly thinks younger voters are stupid. And so he thinks, you won't notice a substantive difference. And in fact, if you notice in that sentence, he said, I didn't notice a substantive difference in their presentation, right? So now that doesn't make any sense. Basically, he's saying, I don't know, we lied to them. And that our lies seem to be similar to what Obama was saying in reality. That should have done the job. Well, O'Reilly, they're not as stupid as your general audience. They apparently figured it out. But here he's basically saying, look, Republicans and Democrats, we show the same kind of respect and care about what young voters think about. Really? Well, let's watch the rest of the interview.
So we're finding that young people give Obama an A for effort. When you ask them, those who approve of President Obama, why they do, the #1 word they come back with is trying. He's trying.
All right. Now, that sounds pretty immature, Ms. Smith. It doesn't sound like a very objective, analytical opinion, or for want of a better word. So why should I care about this study, or why should the Republican Party care about a bunch of kids who don't know anything, and they like the guy just because he's flashy?
Oh, you do the same thing for kids that Obama does. Besides which, why should he give a damn about these goddamn kids? Oops. Perhaps that attitude is what might have cost you younger voters, Bill. Okay, why didn't you just get out there and scream, "Get off my lawn"? Okay. These whippersnappers here, they seem to have a very immature attitude. Listen, it's not about correcting them. It's not. You're not going to help your cause by saying, like, hey, you know what? If you knew what was right for you, you would vote for my guys that give me tax breaks and take it from you. These whippersnappers, shut up! Shut up! Hey, that kind of attitude doesn't exactly get you a lot of votes or get you very popular among young voters. That was an awesome display of not getting it.